platform like this. I also have to apologise for the state of my shoes, but hopefully that only enhances my voluntary sector status. So I wanted to start by introducing you to some of the people that we work with. On the left-hand side of this picture is Sam. Sam's a young homeless Londoner. Sam has been wanting to move to living independently from his hostel situation for a long time, but when he's tried, he's lacked the transitional support to do so, and as a result, he's relapsed back into homelessness. So he's back in the hostel that he started in. Next is Famida. Famida's a really smart young girl from Poplar, and she desperately wants to go to university. But Famida, like many of her peers, is going to struggle because many of her friends are being absorbed into lives of crime or drug use. And finally, there's Ron. Ron is the sole carer for his wife. So Ron's wife is heavily ill, and he wants to look after her at home during the final years of her life, but he lacks the support to do so. Now, these are pretty diverse stories, but what brings them together is that Sam, Famida, and Ron, they're unlikely to get the quality of life that many of us expect for ourselves. So they're at the hard edge of inequality in UK society. But then if we look to some positives, we're inspired by entrepreneurs like Mohammed Yunus, who taught us that elegant ideas like lending money to the poor could transform the lives of thousands of people the world over. So social entrepreneurship is proving itself as a high impact and meaningful route towards effecting change. Moreover, more young people than ever, evidence shows us, are willing to set up their own businesses. And they're also looking to take on social impact careers in higher numbers than ever before. So that's where we come in. Year Here runs a 10-month postgraduate course in social innovation in London that works to teach young people to build entrepreneurial solutions to social problems. And we're here tonight to ask for your support in enabling our entrepreneurs to get started. So this is how it works. We recruit young people who are passionate about tackling social issues, who've got a ton of creativity, humility, compassion, and an entrepreneurial skill set. They volunteer in frontline services, learning from those hit by hardest inequality. So these might be a care home, a homelessness centre, a youth justice initiative, or a community centre. And then, trained by our faculty, they build new social enterprises and charities that we launch with them into the world. They're supported by a 70-strong network of policymakers, entrepreneurs, creatives who join them on their journey. And these are a couple of examples of the kind of ventures that we've produced on the programme. So this is Rich and Katie on either side of the photo. They were both based in homelessness context during their Year Here programme. They learned quite quickly that the causes of relapse into homelessness were super simple things like being unable to pay your bills on time, not liaising with your landlord effectively, or not knowing how to manage a budget. So they founded Settle. Settle supports vulnerable young people as they move into their first home. People like Sam, who need to get started, they provide support after their transition into independence so that they can stay there. Then there's Josh, one of our 2015 fellows. Josh was based at a youth justice initiative in Poplar. Josh worked with young people who were likely to be affected by gang crime, and he found that many of them were kind of strongly embedded in these lives of crime due to community ties and the money that was on offer. As a result of this, he set up CrackTip. So CrackTip provides young people with an enterprising route away from crime by teaching them how to fix cracked iPhone screens. So if any of you have got any cracked iPhones, let us know afterwards. Josh has been he's delivered 8 training boot camps in Poplar in the last 6 months, and he's also won a Community Impact Award from Tower Hamlets Council for his work. I should say that Rich and Katie have worked with 65 young people across Poplar, Camden and Enfield, and their first pilot programme had a 100% tenancy sustainment rate. So this is what our impact looks like more broadly over the last few years. Our fellows have volunteered more than 100,000 hours in frontline placements. We've produced 10 new social ventures through our programme. 63 young people have graduated, and we've got a 99% student retention rate, which is higher than Teach First or Frontline. So how do we make money? So we really want to make our courses accessible to as many people as possible. And as a result of that, we take on placement revenue, which means we charge no course fees to our participants. We offer low-cost accommodation, £35 a week through partnerships, and we also give bursaries of £5,000 to less privileged applicants from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. We're supported by quite an illustrious family of people who help give us in-kind support to help the fellows on their leadership journeys. and we're lucky enough to be publicised in a number of mainstream press outlets. In terms of our plan for the next 5 years, we're expanding to 2 intakes per year starting in September, which will double the number of fellows that we work with. Then we want to expand to new cities like Manchester and Glasgow and spread our pedagogy to existing organisations. So we often talk about our impact as the multiplier effect. So your support will allow multiple entrepreneurs to do their work effectively. And in turn, they can help people like Sam, Ron, and Famida with the various circumstances that they're dealing with. So that's all that I have to say. Thank you so much. And I'm going to welcome Snay to the stage, who's one of our current fellows, and she can answer some questions about her experience. Thank you.